Well, hi again, everyone. It's Abe, and we're back here for another episode of Cracked. Except today, we are not going to look with Nipper at the pile of cracked records, but rather we are going to a different part of my collection, and that is currently sitting right up here. And we're going to be dealing today with what you might call floppy records, or otherwise known as Hit of the Weeks. So, a bunch of you, if you guys are record collectors, may have possibly gone into antique stores in the past. I know I used to all the time, and see these lovely brown discs just sitting there. You know, they're paper on one side, and on the other side they're made of a material called Durium, which is actually does a pretty good job of living up to its name. Back when I was growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, these were, you know, maybe $1 or $2 if you know, somebody had a big pile of records in an antique store and they had a few Hit of the Weeks. I usually ignored them because it was, you know, kind of like this. It was by a band called Phil Spatanley's Music, and you know, this one's song title is "When Your Hair Has Turned to Silver," and it's a, what does it say? It says a foxtrot, so it's in 4/time. A lot of them are waltzes, just not really the kind of music I was interested in at the time. However, in general, Hit of the Weeks are generally recorded by pretty good dance bands from the era. These were made, as I recall, sometime between 1930 and 1932, 1933. Again, so the Durium's actually living up to its name in that it's lasted, what, 80 years now. And every once in a while, so anyway, if you see these things, they're generally worth picking up if they're $1 or $2. And some of them, even if they're more than $1, they're worth picking up because the music is really good. Like this one, which I got from Vintage Music. I'll try to extract it here. Which is a copy of, let's see if you can see it, Sing You Sinners by the Harlem Hot Chocolates, which, as I recall, is a pseudonym for the Duke Ellington Orchestra. This record's really hot. I will post a copy of it. I'll post playing this. But Hit of the Week records have one problem, and that is, as you can see from this, because they're made out of paper and plastic, and rather thin plastic, they're not particularly flat, especially if they've been sitting somewhere for the last 80 years. If you just drop this on a platter and get it to stick somehow, you'll notice that first of all, it takes a little bit to get it on the spindle, and second of all, even though I've got it sitting down there, it's still a little bit bowed. So it can be a little bit tricky getting these things to play, and we're going to try to extract this without chipping the Durium. Okay, there we go. Popped it off. Alright, so how do you get these things to play? How do you play them reliably? Well, this one actually has a little bit of a divot there. You can see that in the light. What I've done in the past, first of all, get a record underneath them. Big record, flat record, so in this case, it was an Ethel Waters. I might have to put this on an episode of Crack at some point in time. Anyway, we got a Columbia black label here. Put that down. Nice flat record. Okay, that's got a ridge, but it's a nice stable platform. And then you get your Durium record, your Hit of the Week, or what have you. Put that down on top of it, like so. If you need, put a couple of 5/16 washers in the middle. Make sure they're not going to fly off when you start the turntable up. But you want something to weigh it down just a little bit in the middle. And then, and some of you are going to hate me for doing this, I would put an additional 5/16 washer on the head, and maybe I'd put 2, because these things have tracking issues like you wouldn't believe. So we got that set now, and we're going to go ahead and play it. And yeah, so if you've got Hit of the Weeks, generally my recommendation would be, you know, have them, record them, and then put them back on the shelf, because the songs can be really cool, but you do kind of wear it out a little bit having to put extra needle pressure because the Durium's no longer flat. So we're going to go ahead and play this one, see the separate video for that, and hopefully you found this educational, enjoyable, and yes, see how that sounds in the other video. Bye for now. Have a wonderful day.